Breaking news, gunfire at a party in Carson has left one person dead, two others wounded. Let's go to NBC4's Marin Austin live at the scene with new information. Marin, good morning.
Michelle, good morning. Of the three young men who were shot last night, we've learned that 24-year-old Davion Gregory has died at the hospital. Gregory was one of about 80 people who came to this warehouse off of Victoria and Main Streets.
In today's video, we're going to talk about Kels from the Stinc team, aka Kels from Rolling Hundreds. We're going to cover everything from his early life, his court cases, and how he was the only one to receive prison time for the Stinc team indictment. Now let's get into it. Kels would be an original block Crip, which would be the Rolling Hundreds in the Westmont district of LA. But growing up, he would be into sports. He would even be a football star at one point. And he would skateboard at one point too, as you can see from this video right here that I found online.
Sublime Supremacy, J2L, I want to give a shout out to Avery.
But Kels,
I noticed that too, like in LA it's kind of like a big skateboard culture or whatever, like, but yeah, I decided we're gonna tap into this shit, bro. I wasn't really familiar with the story. I heard whatever.
would catch his first adult case at the age of 20, and he was arrested on May 6th of 2013. As you can see to the top left, but he would be arrested for 2 counts of burglary, 3 counts of receiving stolen property, 1 count of attempted burglary, and the final count would be burglary in the first degree. He would sit for only a month, and then he would plead guilty on all counts. And even though he pled guilty on 7 counts, he would only get 2 years in state prison. That would be for the burglary, because the other counts, he was able to run them concurrent. He would be sentenced on July 12th of 2013, then he was released 2 years later, in September of 2015. And after just a few weeks of being home, he would catch a whole new case on October 17th of 2015, this time for driving under the influence. But this case wouldn't be a felony, it's a misdemeanor. But on February 1st of 2016, he would take a plea deal for 3 years of probation. But in the summer of 2016, he would be arrested again, this time
Hey, so the Stinc team was kind of like a mix of Crips and Crip associates, or like, choice of words. I ain't want to say Crip sympathizers or whatever. I know that's how they say it, but
for loitering by a criminal street gang. But even though he was on probation, this would be a misdemeanor also. So he was let free on a personal recognizance. But 3 months later, while catching a whole new case on probation, he would catch another case. This time it would be for taking a vehicle without consent. He was arrested on November 16th of 2016, and he would take a plea deal 2 weeks later, on November 28th of 2016. They would give him 5 years of probation for this case and the 2 misdemeanors. And now this is where things get crazy, because just 1 month after taking that 5-year probation plea deal, he would be arrested for a burglary on December 23rd of 2016, but they would let him go. As you see, the filing date at the top is January 25th of 2018, but he was arrested December 23rd of 2016. And this is why they let him go, because on December 10th of 2016, that would be the day that Davion Gregory, aka Red Bull from Inglewood Families, would be killed. And that would be
hey, rest in peace to him, bro. Condolences to his family, condolences to his peoples. It's a trip though. Like, it seemed like Kels was a serial flocker, shimmying through a window any chance he get. Yeah, it was when that W.I.G album came out, flocking was kind of, I know it's always been a thing, especially being right there close to like Hollywood, Beverly Hills, all that shit, right? But yeah, Y.G like made everybody shimmy through a window at one point in time or another.
13 days before Kels was arrested for the burglary. But just 2 months later, on February 13th of 2017, he was arrested for possession of a firearm and 2 counts of possession of assault weapons. This was the first indictment with Drakeo the Ruler. They would then sit in the county jail for the next 4 months. And on June 6th of 2017, he would take a plea deal to where he would have both counts of possession of an assault weapon dismissed, and he would only take a plea deal on the possession of a firearm. But he took the plea for the possession of a firearm on June 6th of 2017, and he had to wait until November 8th of 2018 for the assault weapons to get dismissed due to his plea negotiation. So he had to sit in jail for about 1.5 years. And during that time that he was sitting in jail, they would file that burglary charge that we were talking about earlier. As you see, the filing date at the top would be January 25th of 2018. And just 2 months after they filed the burglary charge, they would file the big Stinc team indictment. As you see at the top, it says March 15th of 2018. They would be charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit any crime, 1 count of murder,
It seemed like he kept getting hella slaps on the wrist, whatever have you, and I noticed that shit be coming out there like it's crazy. Let's keep it.
Count of shooting from a motor vehicle at a person, 7 counts of attempted murder, and 7 counts of possession of a firearm, and a few other charges. But 6 months later, on September 25th of 2018, they would have all these charges dismissed. And that's because 4 days prior, the state decided to refile the case. As you see up there, it says September 21st of 2018, and they would drop the miscellaneous charges, but they would keep the conspiracy to commit any crime, murder, shooting out of a motor vehicle at a person, the 7 counts of attempted murder, and the 7 counts of possession of a firearm. And just 2 months after they refiled that crazy Stinc team indictment, he would be sentenced for the burglary on November 8th of 2018, and they would give him 4 years for the burglary. As you see, it says 2.
So you could understand why, like, Drakeo was like, he felt like the DA or whoever, right, had it out for him, because it's really like a bunch of trumped up charges, and in order to keep certain custody. Feel me? Imagine they in there going through the motions though, like hearing some shit got dismissed, only to hear that they refiled and kept the serious shit, all this, that, and the third. Come on, bro, y'all, damn.
But since he's a 2-striker, they would double it. And on that same exact day, they would sentence him for the possession of a firearm on November 8th of 2018. And they gave him 16 months for that. As you see, it says 8, but the same thing as last time, he's a 2-striker, so they doubled it. These were the 2 cases that he was fighting since 2016. Now let's get back into the Stinc team indictment. But after about 2.5 years of fighting this indictment, on July 25th of 2019, he would blow trial. He would be convicted of the bigger charges, while the lesser charges were either dismissed or acquitted. He would be found guilty on the murder, shooting from a motor vehicle at a person, and 5 counts of attempted murder. All the Stinc team members would have a different outcome with this case though. As we all know, they all beat this, besides Kels. And as you see, the last disposition for each of these counts, some of them would say 2024, and some would be 2019. Kels would be sentenced though.
It's crazy, bro. They had in jail sitting for all that time, whole time. Oh, they really ain't, they really acted like they basically was using the murder or whatever situation with Kels, and then just like, lumped hella together and was like, whole time that's a rap group. Y'all it's crazy when they make up any type of laws they want to, bro.
And he would get life without parole for the murder, 7 years for shooting out of a motor vehicle, and then a life sentence for each attempted murder, so 5 in total. So he would be sentenced to 6 life sentences, one of them has without parole, plus 7 years. And as you see, the sentence date would be November 19th of 2024. But now we're going to break down how he was convicted and why nobody else was. This part right here isn't to disrespect anybody, it's just facts and I'm reading paperwork. We're going to start off with this article right here. And as you see, it says Davion Irvin, who goes by the moniker Solo, was working with the police and giving detectives information about the Stinc team and pretty much lying on them, saying that it's a Crip group. He even broke down how many members and what everybody's moniker and which gang they belong to. He would even tell police that Kels was on social media drinking a drink and dissing Red Bull. And then he told police,
he said, shh, don't say too much, he a perkin. Effing in to turn a kickboxer to a jerker. Yeah, so, yeah, I had heard actually though that he was in there like some shit like that. They sent somebody in there, decoy, and he got a little lipsy, right? Type shit. I don't know.
That Kels didn't say, but he implied that if anybody spoke about the shootings, they would be killed. When all Kels really said was, if you basically don't say anything, we're gonna be okay. And this right here would be the proof that he agreed to cooperate in exchange for a reduced sentence on other charges he was fighting. He even told them about 7 different shootings that had nothing to even do with the Stinc team. And he would even lie to the police and tell them that Kels did a shooting that he never even did. But Detective Hardiman didn't do his due diligence. That's when Kels' lawyer had to prove to Detective Hardiman that Kels was in jail at the time of the shooting. That's when Detective Hardiman went back to Irvin, who is solo, and told him that he knew he lied about the shooting and that he believes he was the shooter. But that wouldn't be the only thing used against Kels. They would do a Perkins and set up somebody named AB from rolling 40s, and they put an informant in his cell.
I thought it was a Perkins. You know what's crazy, right? So you telling me, bro, the shit he was trying to supposedly snitch on, right? On Kels and whoever else was still found to be credible information after finding out he wasn't credible? Try to say a nigga slid when he was in jail.
AB was also a Stinc team member, but he would tell the informant in the cell, not knowing that he was an informant, the whole situation and everything that happened. He would even say that he was one of the shooters also. He was locked up with the informant for weeks, maybe even months. And for some reason he trusted him, because even right here, as you see, Detective Hardiman went and interviewed him in the jail and told him that he got him on camera. And that's when AB responded and said, "You don't got nothing." But once the interview was done and he went back to his unit, the informant would ask him what happened, and he would tell the informant that they got him on camera doing it. But that right there would be the story of Kels and why he got sentenced and what he got sentenced to. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. Subscribe, comment, and like.
Shout out Respectable Rants for surely. So was Bugatti like a part of all that shit? Or because he been down, if I'm not mistaken, for quite some time as well. I don't know if he been down ever since then. But he said Kels was the only one who got convicted from the Stinc team indictment. So maybe that was some separate shit, right? But yeah, this was very insightful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember hearing slightly about what had happened and whatever, but to get it in detail was needed, bruh. Yeah, it's crazy how they like just threw hella conspiracy charges out there in order to apprehend Drakeo, Ralphie, shit like that. Like, it's crazy. Took hella time from a nigga, bro. Like, just for nothing, bro. Some weird shit. Just because you haven't. It's like, but that's always really been their MO if you think about it. Who, you know, whenever a nigga got too much influence or whatever, and just imagine, right? It's like you picking and choosing at that point, officer. Because it's like, how much influence if he got some opposition? You know what I'm saying? He might be able to, whatever, like, be influential amongst his group, but like, what, you know, it's other groups, and this should just be wild. Like, you know, bro, I ain't gonna talk y'all. Y'all just let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, bro. Hit the notification bell. Hit all. Like, damn, like, please.
Say, ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say, ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say, ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that